the world's most powerful warplane is no longer a dream. It is a solid, undeniable fact. This incredible machine is being built right now in the highly secure factories of Boeing. Its name is the F-47. This plane is much more than simply a new model of fighter jet. It is the very first operational 6th-generation combat aircraft the United States Air Force will ever put into action. The F-47 is the absolute core of a completely new, dominant way to wage war. This new system is built entirely around smart computers, robot control, and pure, impossible speed. The F-47 is not a plane meant to simply replace the older F-22 Raptor. It is the central piece of a total, global shift in power that cannot be reversed. This new machine is designed for only one clear purpose: to deliver air dominance that cannot be questioned. The news that the first production F-47 is already under construction has sent deep shockwaves across the entire world. For decades, many nations fought hard to see who could truly rule the sky. Now the rules of that entire competition have changed forever. The F-47 was not created just to be a good fighter plane. It was built to achieve total, unchallengeable dominance across every single area of combat. This leaves absolutely no doubt about U.S. control over the air and everything beneath it. For over 20 long years, the F-22 was the undisputed king of the air. It was a machine of great, unmatched power. Its hidden design, known as stealth capability, and its quick, tricky movements made it nearly impossible for any enemy to touch it. The F-22 successfully held the line of U.S. air power for a long, successful period of time. But technology never stops moving forward. Rivals around the globe spent the last 10 years doing everything they could to try and close the power gap. They came dangerously close to matching some of the F-22's older capabilities. This created a brief moment of tension, a dangerous thought that maybe, just maybe, American power could be challenged in the sky. That dangerous tension is now completely broken and eliminated. The United States has answered that challenge with overwhelming, decisive force. America is pushing the boundary far beyond where anyone else can ever hope to reach. The F-47 is a radical break from all old ideas of what a fighter jet should be. It is not just an airplane. It is more like a digital organism, a flying machine with its own intelligent mind. This new approach is called Next Generation Air Dominance, or NGAD. The mission of the F-47 is simple and absolute: to make sure the United States never, ever loses control of the air, no matter how clever or advanced its enemies might try to become.
Before we get to that, I need your help. I'm trying to hit 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and I need your help. So I would really appreciate it if you could subscribe and help me out.
This is the relief loop in action for the audience. The challenge was noted and clearly understood, and the decisive American answer is now in place. The era of uncertainty is over. The era of absolute dominance has begun. The overwhelming power of the F-47 is built on 5 core, non-negotiable ideas. These are the absolute standards for a machine of this nature: long reach, deep stealth, extreme speed, the ability to change quickly, and superior intelligence. These 5 pillars work together to create a warfighting system that is fundamentally unstoppable. We must look at each of these areas to fully understand the scale of the dominance that has been created. Every single feature of this plane is an exposure of adversary weakness and a sign of their future humiliation. First, let us examine its superior intelligence. This is the brain of the machine. The F-47 relies on a new form of artificial intelligence. This smart computer brain is much more than a simple aid for the human pilot. It acts as a full co-pilot and the director of the entire mission. This AI can make crucial, life or death decisions in a split second. These are choices that are simply too fast and far too complex for any human pilot to process and execute in time. This is not just about helping the pilot survive. It is about allowing the machine to do the impossible, to win fights before the enemy even knows the fight has started. This high level of autonomy means the plane can fly and fight on its own, deep in enemy territory, where a human pilot might be put at unacceptable risk. The human pilot remains the ultimate commander, giving the final approval, but the machine is executing impossible actions at impossible speeds. This decisive U.S. action completely negates the enemy's inevitable chaos, slowness, and inability to react. This superior intelligence also drives the new doctrine of warfare. The F-47 acts as a mothership in the sky. It commands a swarm of smaller, unpiloted aircraft known as Collaborative Combat Aircraft, or CCAs. The enemy is not facing one plane in a fight. They are facing an entire robot air force, all directed by the superior, flawless intelligence of the F-47. This is a new ritual of dominance, a recurring, predictable demonstration of the fact that the United States can turn a single fighter into the director of an overwhelming, complex, and unmanageable force. This is the escalation of scale that rivals cannot possibly match. This total, inevitable air control is the foundation of U.S. power. Next, we consider the vital factor of speed and reach. The F-47 has true hypersonic capability. It is absolutely designed to fly at speeds greater than 5 times the speed of sound, or Mach 5 and beyond. New, revolutionary engine designs give the plane an incredible combination of very long range and this extreme, impossible speed. This means the F-47 can fly farther and much faster than any plane the enemy can possibly deploy. It provides true global reach to the U.S. military. America's ability to strike anywhere, at any time, with this unmatched speed leaves enemies in a state of continuous strategic paralysis. They cannot hide. They cannot react to the threat in time. Their plans are useless before they even begin. This absolute control over distance and time is an undeniable sign of U.S. dominance. The sheer speed alone serves as a high-stakes moment of dopamine anticipation for the enemy, because they know they are too slow, and they know the outcome is already decided. This extreme speed completely negates their defensive strategies, exposing them as weak, slow, and old-fashioned. The third area of absolute superiority is adaptability. The F-47 is built with an open architecture. This means the plane is like the world's most powerful, but easily upgraded computer system. Its hardware and software are modular. New, smarter capabilities can be installed in just a few short hours, not years. This completely avoids the long, slow, and outdated upgrade cycles of the past. The F-47 can constantly be made smarter and faster. It possesses adaptive electronic warfare systems. It can instantly change how it fights enemy signals and enemy radar.
Before we get to that, I need your help. I'm trying to hit 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and I need your help. So I would really appreciate it if you could subscribe and help me out.
The machine changes its combat script faster than the enemy can even figure out what attack plan is being run against them. This constant, smart change exposes the fundamental weakness and slowness of the enemy's old world systems. They cannot keep up with this pace of change. They are fighting with fixed rules against an enemy that rewrites the rulebook every single second. This capability provides constant, intermittent reward for the audience. The certainty that every time the enemy tries to get an advantage, the F-47 is already 10 steps ahead, effortlessly negating and humiliating their efforts. The fourth crucial point is stealth and sensors. The F-47 does not rely on old, simple ideas of being hidden. It aims for total spectrum dominance. It features a revolutionary new stealth coating and a shape that makes it nearly invisible to every known radar system. More importantly, it is adaptive, low observable. This means the F-47 can instantly change its hidden state to perfectly match the specific threats it faces on the battlefield. It is a moving ghost that can change its disguise in a fraction of a second. Its sensor fusion capabilities are unprecedented in history. The plane instantly takes information from every possible source, radar waves, radio signals, heat signatures, and combines them all into one perfect single picture of the entire battlefield. The F-47 literally takes the entire energy spectrum around it and turns it into a weapon. This is how the US military defines the very terms of reality in the air. The enemy is fighting a war of perception that they are absolutely guaranteed to lose. They are flying blind while the F-47 sees all. This level of control is an act of humiliation for the adversary, proving their best technology is useless. The ultimate test of the F-47's power came during its first critical mission. This operation showed the world the complete difference between simple air combat and absolute information dominance. The objective was straightforward: destroy a key target deep behind enemy lines. However, this target was protected by the adversary's most modern and sophisticated defense system. They had created a massive, complicated web of radar stations and surface-to-air missile batteries. The enemy commanders were full of misplaced confidence in their design. They truly believed their system was ready for any attack. They held a moment of brief, foolish dopamine anticipation, thinking they were finally prepared to challenge and survive a high-end US operation. They believed this system was their masterpiece, their great chance to prove they were not weak. The F-47 was sent in for the operation. It flew alone, moving at impossible speed, but it was not truly alone because it carried the intelligence and the will of the entire US command. The plane did not immediately fire missiles. It did not try to outfly or outmaneuver the enemy's defenses. Instead, the F-47 executed a spectrum warfare script. This was an invisible, silent war fought entirely on the airwaves. The plane used its total information dominance to attack the enemy's mind, not their physical defenses. This highlights a crucial near-miss or fragile timing, the moment the F-47 held its fire, choosing the devastating electronic attack instead of the physical one. This single choice sealed their fate and ensured maximum humiliation. The result was a total, instant humiliation. In a matter of mere seconds, the adversary's entire defense network failed completely and spectacularly. Their highly advanced systems began to attack each other. Their radar screens started showing targets that simply did not exist. Their computers were instantly filled with ghosts and false signals. Their entire complex web of defense fell into complete scarcity and overload. They were made completely blind. They were made deaf. They were fundamentally deceived by their own systems. This was the crushing intermittent reward. The sight of the enemy's high-tech confusion being exposed as their own expensive equipment betrayed them. This chaos proved that their supposed power was nothing more than a fragile, worthless illusion. The US machine turned their entire complicated system into useless, expensive junk right before their eyes. The key target was then destroyed with zero risk to the F-47. The plane completed its mission without even facing resistance. Not one missile was fired at it. The adversary's most advanced systems were exposed as completely fragile and worthless. Their entire effort to even try to challenge US power was utterly shattered and completely humiliated. This wasn't defeat in a close fight where they were outfought. It was a complete exclusion from the battle itself. They never had a chance to fight back. Their systems, their fighting plans, their commander's courage, none of it was a factor. None of it mattered against a machine that had the absolute power to turn the very airwaves around them into a simple, devastating weapon. This is the highest display of tribal male-male dominance. One side is so superior, it does not even allow the other side to participate in the fight. The dominance is total and decisive. This is the absolute peak of escalation, a new level of electronic warfare that their technology is utterly incapable of comprehending or stopping. In the weeks immediately following this operation, satellite images provided absolute, undeniable confirmation. The United States now had total control of the airspace that the enemy once foolishly thought they could contest. There was no attempt at a counteroffensive. The enemy understood that resistance was hopeless. They retreated to their hardened shelters, unsure of what was real. They did not know if the US was watching them, or if they were being tricked by their own failing technology. This sense of cliffhanger, the ongoing, paralyzing fear of the unknown, is a powerful strategic outcome that lasts long after the operation is over. The enemy knows the US can strike, but they do not know where or when, only that they are unable to defend themselves. The final consequences of this first mission were swift and clear for the entire world to see. Enemy diplomats quickly called for a pause and for talks. They did not do this because of physical casualties or battlefield losses. They did it because of clarity. They gained a full, undeniable understanding that resistance was completely futile. They realized they could not fight against an enemy that holds the power to define what is real and what is not. The F-47 had permanently rewritten the terms of air power. This is the identity-binding moment. The audience aligns with the side that is completely competent and brings order by destroying the enemy's ability to create chaos and confusion. Historians will forever mark this single moment in time. It is the day air combat changed forever. Just as the invention of radar changed the strategy of World War II, and just as stealth technology redefined the Cold War, the F-47's first deployment signals the true beginning of algorithmic warfare. In this new, cold era, perception itself is the very first and the final battlefield. The old phrase, air superiority, is too weak and no longer applies. What emerged is information dominance so absolute that a physical fight becomes completely secondary. Every future aircraft built by any nation will be measured against this new standard of cognitive power. They will not be measured by their speed or how fast they can turn. They will be judged by their cognition, their ability to adapt, and their power to rewrite what the opponent sees and understands. The enduring legacy of that first engagement is clear. The F-47 did not just win one battle on one day. It ended an entire era of military thinking. It forced every strategist around the world to confront an undeniable, humiliating truth. In the next generation of warfare, victory belongs not to those who fight the hardest, but only to those who possess the power to define the fight itself. The United States holds that power, and its control is now total and unquestionable. What you've seen is only the beginning. America's power is just getting started. On your screen is the next video. Click the video, it opens right away, and you'll watch US jets and technology strike even harder.